Spirit Halloween has dropped a huge new teaser video revealing tons of their 2023 animatronics while I'm on vacation. Let's talk about it. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and welcome to yet another GMHaunts Florida vacation video, because as you can tell, I'm currently filming this video in a hotel room as I am still on vacation in Florida. Earlier this week, we took a look at the Scary Sitting Scarecrow sneak peek that Spirit dropped, and I thought that maybe that would be it for the sneak peeks, for at least for this week. Maybe they would save a little bit more for some time in the future. And then, of course, today, Spirit dropped a gigantic, and when I say gigantic, I mean gigantic, teaser video revealing a bunch of their brand new for 2023 animatronics, not just tombstone names like I did a couple of weeks ago, and not just like little snippets, basically full-on amazing looks at their incredible 2023 animatronic lineup. And I am not the only person to be saying this. Possibly what could be one of their best animatronic lineups we have ever seen Spirit create. I am so excited to be talking about this and to be saying some amazing animatronics that I 100% will be purchasing for this season. Again, I do apologize that this is happening while I'm on vacation. I wish I could be making a high quality production video like I was at home, but unfortunately, while I'm on vacation, I have to be doing everything on my cell phone, and it does make it a little bit hard. And then obviously the main thing, I have to be in a hotel room for this. But nonetheless, that is not going to affect anything. Even though I am in Florida, I still am going to talk about this. So without any further ado, let's jump into the giant Spirit Halloween 2023 teaser video with animatronics. Alright, so the first animatronic shown in this video is one of the best, in my opinion, we see in the entire video, and one of my favorites. This is our first look at the Black Heart. Now, as you can see, the Black Heart is a brand new Grim Reaper animatronic coming for Spirit 2023, and he's actually holding a woman in his hands. Now, it seems like the animation is going to be that he takes his hand away, and when he does that, her face is kind of all very creepy and kind of like decayed over, Grim Reapered over. I don't even really know what to say. Black marks all over her face. It is very creepy looking. This is 100% one of my favorite animatronics that we are seeing for Spirit Halloween 2023. He looks fantastic. In my opinion, this looks like a professional animatronic. The way the face is done, the details on the woman's face, absolutely an incredible animatronic. That is 100% one of my favorites for this season. He will be being manufactured, or I should say, like, they'll be being manufactured, two of them, by Crazy Crate, CCL, and I think they did an absolute grand slam job on this animatronic. This will 100% be a pickup for me during this season, just because, again, looks like a professional prop. I love the details. I love the animation. The mouth movement, the audio that we can hear in the video, that little snippet of his audio, sounds really awesome, and that is the Black Heart. Such an amazing animatronic. Alright, and next up is the Hellboys The Clown animatronic. Now, this guy is actually holding a balloon in his hand. We knew we would be getting one like this from the tombstones from a couple of weeks ago, and this is another fantastic animatronic. I love the look of this guy. He is so creepy looking and so old-timey. Obviously, we get a lot of clowns from Spirit, but I feel like this one is so different that he stands out even in the big kind of sea of clowns that we get. I love the green hair on this guy. I love the overall look of the face. The mouth movement looks great, and you can actually see that he has a projection in the balloon that he's holding, kind of similar to Jack Stalker, who we saw from Morris Costumes. Now we are seeing something like that for Hellboys The Clown from Spirit. And overall, I always love the clown animatronics for the most part, and I think this is actually one of the better ones that we have seen over the last couple years. Alright, and next up is another clown, but this is the officially licensed one. So of course this is the Slim from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is definitely one of the most popular animatronics. Once people have seen this video, also a couple weeks ago, when we saw the tombstone, people were very excited about Slim. This guy looks amazing. He is gigantic. He is so movie accurate to Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The animation looks fantastic with him opening that candy bag or gift bag, whatever you think it is, kind of up to the imagination that he's holding in his hands. I love the way he opens it. The mouth movement is one of the things that stood out to me as one of the best things we're seeing on this prop. The mouth movement looks so organic, so realistic, and I love the way it moves up and down. Slim looks incredible. I really, really adore him. Obviously, he's the most expensive animatronic for Spirit this season, retailing for $399.99, $496. But nonetheless, I mean, he's big. He's giant. He's tall. He's got a lot of animation in there. I honestly do think he's worth the price tag. And while I don't think I'll be buying him, just because I don't even have Shorty from Spirit, I'm not a huge Killer Clowns guy when it comes to animatronics. He is really awesome. The look of him is on point. Such an elite animatronic. And if you haven't noticed a theme yet so far here, I guess no pun intended, Spirit animatronics this year are amazing, and Slim is no different from that. All right, and next up is my absolute favorite animatronic of Spirit Halloween 2023. This is the Pretty Woman Leatherface animatronic. I absolutely adore this animatronic in every way, and the first time I watched this brand new teaser video from Spirit, I fell in love with him immediately. The look of this guy is so accurate to the original Texas Chainsaw. The Pretty Woman mask looks on point. I love the detail. The eyes in there are so creepy looking. The builtness that he has. He is so big and chunky, just like he is in Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. The animation looks cool. We can see some kind of movement on the actual chain blades. For the chainsaw, it looks like he's going to kind of move around in a circle there to make it look like he's kind of revving it up in a way. The movie-accurate tie to him. The suit looks amazing. The mask, again, on point. The background and the entire set they used for him looks incredible. They really made it look like Texas Chainsaw and really look like it's filmed in kind of like warm, hot Texas, kind of like it is here in Florida where I'm filming this video. But nonetheless, this guy is retailing for $349.99, $359.96. He's another one of the most expensive for this season. But I will 1000% be buying the Leatherface animatronic. He looks fantastic. And under the three we're seeing this year, the Lowe's version from Jemmy, the Party City one from Tacky, and now the Spirit one coming from Party Time Manufacturing. I think this one by far is my favorite. I love the look of him, and he is 100% my favorite animatronic of Spirit Halloween 2023. So you heard it here first. It's always exciting to hear what my favorite's going to be, along with a lot of other people. And right now, Leatherface Pretty Woman version is 100% my favorite Spirit Halloween 2023 animatronic. All right, and next up we have the Lil Jack Carver animatronic, and this is basically a little kid with a pumpkin on his head, and the animation is going to be that he lifts the pumpkin up to reveal a very creepy looking face underneath it. Very simple animatronic, but another one that I actually really enjoy. There's not been an animatronic so far that I said I don't like. This is another one that is very cool. I love the look of him. I love the vintageness and kind of very Halloween-ness because he has a pumpkin. He just looks like a classic Halloween character with the farm look that he has to him. Most likely will also be picking up this guy during the season because of how much I enjoy the pumpkin that he has, and again, just the overall look to Lil Jack Carver. I also love the name to him. Again, just so classic Halloween. It screams vintage. And Lil Jack Carver is another animatronic that I am so excited to see what this guy will look like in real life, and also to get his actual full demo video because he looks absolutely incredible from this teaser. All right, and next up is the first animatronic and one of the only ones that is definitely on the bottom of my list for Spirit this year. This is Eternal Rest. Now, of course, this is a SLA animatronic, Soundlight Animatronics. That's who's going to be manufacturing it. And honestly, I feel like that's the main reason why this animatronic is more on the lower side, just because that manufacturer isn't really the best, especially when it comes to these other companies, such as Crazy Craig, Party Time, SVI, Techie, all those. SLA is just lower on the list. I feel like this is very simple, and I'm sure this will also be one that isn't super high quality. Again, maybe I'm wrong, but from this, it kind of looks like that. This is basically just a statue animatronic on top of a tombstone. We know from the description, this is kind of meant to be like a wife, I believe, who's like waiting for her husband or something like that. Eternal Rest, definitely not one of my favorites for this season, but nonetheless, it is a brand new statue animatronic for Spirit 2023. The next animatronic shown was the Scary Sitting Scarecrow, but I'm not going to talk about him because we did already do a sneak peek reaction video just a couple of days ago. The one after that was the brand new Darling Dolly animatronic. Now, obviously, this was shown off. The name was shown off in a tombstone. Darling Dolly is definitely one of the most popular animatronics for this season, judging from people's reactions of this teaser video, other haunters. And I will say she's very creepy looking. She isn't really one that's my style. I don't tend to love doll animatronics. That's just kind of me. I know a lot of people really love them. Not really my style for props. However, again, I will say she is super creepy. The way the hands look with those long fingers, the very creepy doll face, the huge tallness that she has to her, definitely creepy. And in the darker and good lighting, or even just in the kind of daylight, she definitely is very frightening. I just definitely wouldn't buy her most likely, just because dolls don't tend to be my style when it comes to animatronics. But nonetheless, again, don't think she's a bad prop by any means. Just don't think she's really my vibe. All right, and next up are two that I'm not going to talk about that much. This is Grave Watcher and the Gargoyle, the Sinister Gothic Gargoyle. Grave Watcher, we already knew was having a flashback this year, and actually, we did see some people actually get her a little bit early from the Amazon listing that accidentally went up, so I'm not going to talk about her, but Grave Watcher, of course, is coming back from Spirit Halloween 2013. Then the Sinister Gothic Gargoyle, again, did a video on that a really long time ago when they did the halfway to Halloween releases, but he was shown in this teaser. Alright, and next up is another animatronic that is very exciting for this season, one that's getting a lot of people very, just making it kind of a fan favorite, I guess I could say. This is Stalker. Now, this guy will be an online-only animatronic for this season. He's being manufactured by Feng Yang, which is the kind of revived version of Nu Ray's son, who made Boneyard Butcher, I guess, most prominently. I know a lot of people, like I said, are very much enjoying this character. I will say, I can't really get behind it. I like that this is meant to be a classic monster, under your bed, in the darkness monster, period. That's it. And I do like that he's very different with that giant teeth and mouth, like very creepy looking again, just like Darling Dolly. Again, just like I said with Darling Dolly, he isn't really my style, and this isn't kind of the type of animatronic I tend to really enjoy. Something that's very monsterish and just very kind of outlandish. But nonetheless, I mean, he is interesting. I like to see Spirit going in different directions for animatronics. We know he's very large from his description. I believe around like over 8 feet or just around 8 feet or something like that. And again, he is online only for this season, so you won't be able to see him in stores. But nonetheless, a very unique animatronic for Stalker. Alright, and next up is another one that's going to get people very excited. This is the officially licensed Crypt Keeper animatronic. Now, yes, this was one that we did see a little bit about in the Halfway to Halloween teaser, as we could actually see him appear in one of the shots in a very low opacity kind of shot there. Crypt Keeper is coming for Spirit Halloween 2023, and obviously, this was a very old Spirit animatronic that now they're kind of reworking, rehashing in a way to bring back for Spirit 2023, and I will say, he looks phenomenal. He looks so accurate to the actual Crypt Keeper character, which is definitely tough to do, with him being more on the kind of cartoony side, not really super realistic. He's kind of more of a cartoony character, but I think Spirit knocked it out of the park, to be completely honest with you, and this looks really, really good. Next up, we have the Dagger Mike animatronic. Now, this was one I was very excited about when we saw the Tombstone names. This is a brand new, smaller clown animatronic holding 2 daggers, just as the description said. A couple of weeks ago, around 2 weeks ago. I will say, unfortunately, this is another one of the few and far between ones that is lower on my list for Spirit this year. I just don't really love the look to him. Very plain looking, very generic in a way, and also I don't love how small he is. I tend to like bigger animatronics. I know sometimes smaller props, like I said in a video a couple weeks ago, I guess, sometimes smaller props do have something that works well for them. I feel like this one is more on the plain side, so I can't really get that much behind him. It seems like the animation might be that he pops up or something like that. That's what it seems like from this teaser video. I will say, the daggers look very realistic from this video. They don't look very fake like a lot of other animatronics do. They look very realistic, very much like real daggers. Just can't really get behind the look of this guy, the size of him, and the color scheme. But nonetheless, that is Dagger Mike. Alright, and next up we have the Gordo animatronic. Now, this is basically a tabletop, almost, I guess you could say, and he is very similar to the Lowe's pumpkin that we are seeing this year that rises up and reveals goo on the inside. This guy is meant to be kind of a pumpkin that jumps upward, the upper part of the mouth, and reveals the pumpkin guts on the inside. Very unique animatronic. I love the look to it, and honestly, I think I like this one a little bit more than the Lowe's one, just because there are so many more guts in there. Really sells the idea of a pumpkin. Also, it looks like he'll be sold on a pedestal, which is kind of interesting. He's retailing for $149.99, $150.96, which is kind of a little bit much for this particular thing. A lot of the things this year tend to be fairly priced, in my personal opinion. This guy does have a little bit of a crazy price, but nonetheless, that is Gordo, a very similar animatronic to what we were seeing at Lowe's, but in my opinion, a better rendition of it. Alright, and next up, we have another clown animatronic, and this is one of the biggest props of the year. This is Stealth the Clown. This is the bowling pin clown that we got a little bit of hints towards with the Tombstones a couple weeks ago. As you can see, a giant animatronic holding bowling pins in his hands. Very creepy head-turning animation, I guess you could say head-spinning animation. A very kind of like bright color scheme with some purples in there, some pinks for the face, and some very cartoony looking facial features. Unfortunately, I always love clown animatronics. For the most part, I think they are very good, and I love the look to them, and I just love clowns. This one is one of the ones lower on my list for this year, which is surprising because he's a clown. I just feel like he doesn't have a lot of body to him. He's very kind of skinny looking, very weird the way the legs look and the body and the arms. He doesn't really have like a lot of body mass to him. I feel like it's the opposite of what I talked about with the Leatherface animatronic earlier, is this guy is just very skinny. Also, the face on him is a little bit too cartoony for my liking. I tend to actually like the cartoony clowns. This one I feel like is a little bit too overboard for my personal liking, but nonetheless, he is huge. And I think in person, he's going to be even bigger than you think he is when seeing like the height to him. I believe around 8 feet tall. And also seeing like this video, he's going to be like super imposing when you see him in person, so maybe I'll actually enjoy him a little bit more when I see him in real life, but nonetheless, that is the Stilts the Clown with bowling pins animatronic. Alright, and next up is one I'm not going to talk a whole lot about. This is the creepy Rising Doll flashback. Obviously, we kind of already knew this was going to happen a couple of weeks ago with the, a couple months ago, I should say, with the halfway to Halloween teaser. We knew creepy Rising Doll would be making her return, basically identical to what the original version was. Again, I said before, I'm not a huge fan of creepy Rising Doll, honestly, but it is definitely interesting to see her make a flashback for 2023. Alright, and finally, the last animatronic shown in this teaser video. It is shown at the very last part of this teaser video. This is the Poor George Clown. Now, as you know, there was a lot of criticism, or a lot of, I should say, theories about what, not criticism, theories about what this guy was going to be when we saw his description, about how Spirit was going to make another clown that was a half body. Obviously, last year we saw Lucky Bottoms, who was a half body, and then it seemed like from the description that Poor George was also going to be half body, as it said he was kind of slashed in half. As you can see, he is a torso animatronic, but his hands are kind of on the ground holding him up, and I'm not going to lie, very cool looking clown. He is so different, he is so unique, and he stands alone 100% with the way the arms are, and how he's going to actually have a spinning animation, and you can actually see he's got some blood and guts, kind of like spewing, not spewing out, but you can see them when he spins around, and that's kind of meant to show how he was cut in half by a clown car. Love the way this guy looks. The Poor George animatronic is a very cool clown, and another one that I'm definitely going to try to pick up during this season because I think he looks fantastic. I think he is so unique, and I love to see some gore and blood making their way back to Spirit Halloween animatronics, especially on a clown animatronic. That is awesome to see. But overall, those are all the animatronics shown in this brand new Spirit Hallows Residence teaser that Spirit Halloween has released. I am so excited to see this teaser video. It is fantastic. I love the editing to it. I love the amount of animatronics that they showed off. And like I said, Spirit is fantastic this year in my opinion. Every single animatronic is good in its own right. Really, the only one I don't love is Eternal Rest. Every other one I definitely think has a very unique thing to it. And my favorite of the year is 100% the Pretty Woman Leatherface animatronic. That is a buy 1000%. There's other ones that I want to buy. Leatherface Pretty Woman is a 100% buy, set in stone. I am so excited to see him coming out this year from Spirit, and I think he is the best out of the three that we're seeing for this year, from Lowe's and from Party City. Again, I do apologize that I am on vacation at the time Spirit's releasing this, and that this video isn't the highest quality, or at least to the quality I normally make my videos. That is definitely unfortunate. Maybe when I get back, I will make a more in-depth video where I can talk about things a little more. Right now, I'm kind of confined to a hotel room, filming and editing everything on my phone, so I do apologize for the quality, but I have to make a video right away because this is huge news, and Spirit Halloween 2023 animatronics have officially been revealed. But I guess, remember as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I'll see you guys later for more Spirit Halloween 2023 videos. Goodbye.